All right, we are back at the man cave. How you guys doing today? I hope that your weekend has been going immaculate. So I got a video for you today called The After Pill. It is a video called Men Are Relaxing as It All Collapses. This should be extremely good.
What's going on? What's going on? What's
What's going
going
on, man?
on? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. And once again, I am outside with it, cooking on this beautiful but hot day, 100-degree weather day here in Dallas, Texas, man. And I have an
I
interesting,
miss
very
Texas.
interesting topic for you guys today, man. And if you didn't know, I just wrote my first book, The Five Key Principles for the Modern Man. You
Sorry,
can
skip it.
hit that link in the description. And exiling themselves out of society and just watching it collapse. And it's going to get worse, much worse, as the years go by. If you pay attention to the news, if you pay attention to the media, many men are not in the workforce. Many men are not getting married. Many men are not approaching women.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Many men are just saying, to hell with it. They're not putting up a fight. They're not fighting back. Many men just, quite frankly, don't care. And that's bad.
It is.
That's bad. Well, it's bad for society.
Yep.
And it's definitely bad for the American society, right? If you have a bunch of men who are not working, who's going to carry on the infrastructure of society? Who's going to fight the wars of society, right? Who's going to pick the women up when they fall down in society, right? And it seems like society wants men to do every single thing with no return on investment at all.
Yeah, think about that. So men are told to do better. So men do better. But then they say, well, the women are doing better, so you have to do better. And men would probably still do better. But then you start to realize that the women aren't better. They're just making more money. Nothing else is special about them. They're just making more money. And they're telling you, well, you have to make more money to top what they're already making and make them feel better. You insult them 24 hours a day. You tell them that them being a straight male is a problem. You tell them that wearing a dress doesn't make you less of a man. Going down on another man makes you no less than a man. I don't know how that works, but this is also the same generation that doesn't know what a woman is. You insult them. You talk about their masculinity as always being toxic. There's always misogyny, but there's never misandry. You insult this group of people who are your protectors in every aspect, regardless if you want to say we don't need men. And then you're shocked that men stop protecting you. You're shocked that the men don't want to go out there and work with you. Not to mention with the false grape allegations and every other excuse. And then when you come down to people you know are lying, your answer is, well, if these men didn't come off giving off that type of energy, women wouldn't have to feel like this. So you're justifying their actions to even lie, to say that it's your fault that the reason why these women are doing it. I want you to understand that. And then you're shocked that men are disappearing from the workforce. The infrastructure changes when you stop hiring men. Look at China. Look at Japan. Female-oriented jobs, and they're saying, "Oh, let's push for women to get into these positions," and now the birth rates are plummeting. They're plummeting. So while you're pushing this whole nonsense, who is going to be the next of kin to take over the next position when those people pass on?
Everything is equal, right? Men and women are equal, right? But why isn't the courts reflecting that? Why isn't the courts reflecting that? Why isn't the military reflecting that? Why isn't the child custody courts reflecting that? Why are all the hard jobs, the infrastructure jobs, the construction workers, the builders, the engineers, the plumbers, electricians, you know, the men who get shitted on in society? Why is that still the majority men?
Because women are lazy. They don't want to do those jobs. Hot and sweaty. There's some women that will do it, but majority of women don't want to do it. There was a video I saw not that long ago about a woman who literally walked off the job because she couldn't handle it. And I don't blame her because there are some men that can't handle it. But you don't want to fight for those jobs. You want to fight for the cushy job with a woman that worked at Twitter when it was still Twitter, and she talked about getting a latte and they're sitting with her friends and they sat for a Zoom meeting and then they went to lunch again and then we did this. They want to exploit it while they're carrying their Stanley Cup, $120 Stanley Cup, about how cushy their job is. That's what they're looking for. They're not looking for equality. They're looking for equality for positions where they don't have to work hard. The courts, they're going to favor things that favor women because they're the majority of the people. So if you give them everything they want, you keep them stupid, keep them voting. The only reason why Republicans are doing it is because why they fought against the abortion thing is not because they care about you. It is a class thing. What they cared about is that there's no one left to fill in the blanks when those people pass on if they're not reproducing. So they have to try to put an ease to it. And I guarantee you what will happen, they'll bring it back when they get their numbers up. Once you start messing with their money, then the government all of a sudden knows. We need to do something about this. These children can't be aborted. They don't care about you. It's class. You're down here, and they're way up here. That's what they care about. And if they're up here, this is keeping them up there. And if you're not giving it, they got to fix the problem until they get their money back. And then they'll go back to normal, the way things used to be.
Can anybody answer me that? It's not discrimination. It's not because they say women can't do it. It's not because of any of that.
They know women can't do it.
It's because women simply don't want to do it, and quite frankly, can't do a lot of that hard, laborious work. They can't do it. But they want to tell us we're the problem in society.
Because men take it. They don't question
Men
it.
are so dangerous,
They don't fight it.
right? They'd rather choose the bear. They'd rather choose the bear than the man. Men are such a detriment to society, not contributing, not doing anything, right? Well, now, women and society are going to get what they wished for.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get what their worst fears are, especially in a country like America. So you just have men, they're working, they're minding their business, they're not trying to bother anybody. They're not trying to be bothered with women at all, long-term relationships at least. Right? And that's a problem. Who's gonna feed the system?
See?
If this path continues, who's gonna feed the system? The system is bound to collapse because why? Women cannot hold this system together by themselves.
And I'm going to tell you right now, women are not going to figure it out till the system actually collapses. Which is why I tell men, stop doing things for women. And they're not your kin, or they're not someone who you're actually actively being with who is serious. Stop helping them. They're not going to learn their lesson until you stop doing it. That's why even women that I know fear my words, because eventually I'm going to reach somebody who they know who's going to stop doing it, and that person's going to stop doing it, and that other person's going to know someone who's just going to stop doing it, and it's going to be a chain reaction. That's why they fear it. The same way they fear passport bros. They don't hate these women because they're third world or anything like that, or like because they care that they're innocent victims of these men. They fear these women because it's competition. The same thing goes for this. Women know that men will just jump up and do things and help them no matter what they say. But there are men every single day that are growing out of it and say, I'm not helping you. And they're worried about that because if one or two men do it, then it's like whatever. But when it starts being the majority, then they start worrying. And then you start hearing the politicians get involved. They want to start talking about how, well, this is a problem, we need to stop it.
We understand that. Men have always understood that. But now, men just don't give a fuck. Men do not care anymore. And I understand, I advocate for men to be the best man you can and,
Always.
go out and make as much money as you can, get in the best shape of your life. And you have men out there who's doing it. But they're getting in shape, getting that money, and they're getting the hell up out of here.
Yep. Password bros, we out.
That's what's going on.
Don't be afraid of these
So
women.
you have a group of men who are just, you have the group of men who are lazy, who just like fuck society, man. I can't get a woman. They want Chads, they want Tyrones. I'm not about to marry, the leftovers. So you have those men who just like, man, there's no sense of what am I working for? What am I working towards?
And I don't blame them.
Just to pay into a system that doesn't appreciate me, that just says, I'm nothing, who incentivize women to do whatever the hell they want to. Nah. So you have those group of men who just said, fuck it. Fuck it.
I don't blame them. Why would you want that? Why would you want someone that just insults you all day long, tells you to keep being a cog, being part of the world engine, keep doing all this other stuff? How long till you get tired of it? Men get tired. They move on. You have the men that just say, I'm not going to deal with you altogether and I'm going to see it myself. Or there are men that say, I'm going to go elsewhere and just go overseas and give my resources to those women who can appreciate me. After you insult someone enough, it becomes a problem. And you start creating a new generation. And this generation is getting tired of being called every type of ism when they're doing all the brunt worth of everything you can think of.
And then you have another group of men who, like I just said, who are hitting the gym, getting into the best shape of their life, who's eating healthy, getting their mental health good, getting their physical health good, getting their emotional health good, getting their spiritual health good, getting their financial health good. You have those men over there who's getting all their ducks lined in a row. And as soon as they make enough money, as soon as they hit that sweet spot, they're on the first thing smoking to the Philippines. They're on the
Woo!
first thing smoking to
Lordy.
Dominican Republic. They're on the first thing
Woo!
smoking to Puerto Rico.
Woo!
They're on the first thing smoking to Colombia. Right? Men are done. And then when it comes to politics, the left nor the right is really addressing men's issues. Nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about the high suicide rates. Nobody's really talking about men leaving the country and going to live simple lives somewhere else in another country. Right? Nobody's talking about MGTOW. Nobody's talking about any of this stuff. Neither the left nor the right. Politics in this country is a joke, and nobody's addressing the real problems in society.
Which is why I said, and I'm gonna. He is mistaken. They are talking about it, but when it comes down to talking about men's rights, neither side really. He is 100% correct. They don't care whether you're Democrat, Republican, left, right, conservative. That doesn't matter. What they do is you start to notice that, like I said, the whole birth rate thing. That's not because they care about men's rights. Otherwise, they would fight for more things to help men have more rights when it comes down to your seed being planted into a woman. They actually do tell you exactly how they feel about men going overseas. MGTOW. Look online. Did you see the right complaining when Democratic channels were talking about MGTOW as being like, I forgot the exact name. It's escaped me. They were talking about those type of men as being like incels. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm sorry. They were talking about them like being incels. They're the bottom of the barrel men who are just weird and creepy. When they are actually, MGTOW is just a bunch of guys that just, I don't want to deal with you. I'm gonna move on with my life and do my thing. You do your thing. I don't care. They don't. They're not even trying to engage with women, but they turn it into a negative. The same way that you can go to either channel, either it's Republican news channels or a Democratic news channel, and those shows will talk about men who go overseas as being less than. You'll see it. Go ahead and look. Go to Fox. They will talk down about men who don't want to be a part of the world engine. They insult them as being weak-minded men. You will hear this because they both have the same agenda, control over you. No matter who you vote for, you as a man are the minority to the majority who are women, and they don't give a crap about you. Republicans want to have this, I want to have a conservative wife who's a homemaker and cooks and clean, but the honest truth is you're not dealing with all the stuff that keeps women from doing that because they have too many influences that cause them to think elsewhere. Are you changing the court system? No, they're not. Are you going to Congress to have laws changed so that when men get married, they don't lose everything? No, you're not. Haven't you noticed that they don't care about your rights when it comes down to no matter what side you're on? They don't care about your rights. Otherwise, they'd be tackling those situations at hand. Why did they go to abortion? Because the birth rates are plummeting. United States birth rates are going down more and more because people are getting married further into their life than they used to. That's the only reason. Butts in the buckets and asses in the seats. Don't fall for it. Please do not fall for it. Neither side cares, but they're talking about MGTOW and Paso Bros. They're just using it as an insult because they're both on the same side. They don't care about men, and they never will.
And men are picking up on that. Young men especially are picking up on that, and they're just saying, to hell with all this shit, to hell with the system, to hell with the political system, to hell with the 9-to-5 system, to hell with all this. I'll work my job, get as much money as I can. As soon as I get my money, I'm out of this bitch. That's how a lot of men are thinking now. A lot of men are just kicking back, relaxing, watching this shit all crash and burn.
That's the best way you can look at it. I'm going to leave it at that, but I'm going to finish with this. Men should do that. Just go in your way. Build your life. Build your legacy. If you don't have a woman from another country or you don't have a woman that's actually on her point, on her game here, get a woman from another country. Only men who have purpose. The rest of you, go ahead, be your Pookies and Ray Rays and your Chads. I don't care what you do because these women are going to fall for it anyway. Reproducing with you and then getting mad and say all men instead of just saying the men that they choose. But anyway, you as a man, use the American dollar for what it's worth and go overseas. Go someplace else. Build your business. Build real estate. Stop complaining. Take the money and go someplace else and build something with it. And then go to another country. Get a house in the country, whether it's Southeast Asia, Dominican Republic, and apparently Puerto Rico. Because I've never been there yet, but I'm going to take a trip one day. And build your life there and have a family. Because having a family here is not worth it. When I tell people how much I paid for having my son born in Dominican Republic over there, then it's importantly like over here, having a child in the United States, it's insane. And they're like, how did you pay that much money? I was like, it's the same good care. They took care of my son. They don't care. Doesn't matter. I didn't pay as much money. And you come over here, you're spending an arm and a leg to bring a child into this world. Because in this country, it is all about siphoning as much money from you as possible and pretending that you're doing them a favor. But anyway, I'll make a video about that one, about people going overseas, and we'll get to that next time. But anyway, tonight, And for now, the man cave is always open. Good night.